Hi everyone! It is my first virtual wellness walk. So I'm going to wait for everyone to join. I just told actually everyone today. And a few things that I'm going to review today is easy ways to enjoy, I don't want to say the outdoors since we're all supposed to be kind of indoors, but in your own area. So whether it be in your backyard, which is where I am right now at my parents' house, in your terrace, garden, by the river, if you live by any sort of body of water, or if even looking outside is great as well, or maybe on your rooftop, or even any kind of body, any kinds of green, or what we call green space, or what we call blue space. Blue space is like oceans, rivers, anything that's obviously, a water form. And green space is anything that, of course, is, whether it's forest or whatnot. And what I'd like to show, what I call the wellness walks, which is similar to what you would think of as forest bathing. And forest bathing is really just a form of walking in the woods. And it's connecting people to nature in a form where you're also being mindful and being aware of what's around you. So whether it's using your five senses. So for example, if right now I'm here, I'm just outdoor in my parents' garden, my parents' backyard, and I'm just enjoying just being around nature. Now, I'd also want to grab a tree. They actually say that now if you're going to go now to public places, even in Central Park, which I was living in the city, I decided to come out here, but you can still touch trees and gardens. And apparently, as we know, trees have this type of chemical compound which are actually do not have, I was actually looking for this information, but they're able to deter any of the diseases. So at first I didn't really want to hug a tree or put a hand on a tree. I can't reach this right now because the trees, maybe I'll go to this tree at my parents' house here, so I'm just walking. But we've started the wellness walks, and so what I'm going to do is I like to ground myself by putting my hands on a tree. I'm now under the tree. And also I love looking at visuals of nature. So a lot of times, look at this, sometimes I love taking photographs of this. And look how beautiful this tree is. If I just kind of look up like this and I can do a photograph of that, that's a beautiful photograph. And later I can look at that indoors. So for example, if you'd like to enjoy and bring nature indoors, that's the perfect way. So we can just do photographs of nature, and I'm going to show you all sorts of other products that I created that you can easily create to bring nature indoors. But in the meantime, to start with our wellness walk, what I usually do, I also carry this. I made this little sort of nature bottle, which is really just salt and some essential oils, and I put in some crystals in here, and then I just hard to do this one hand up. That just kind of starts my walk with just a soothing, very soothing for the mind. And I do a breathing technique as well. So if you're familiar with the Wim method or Kundalini yoga, which I was doing a lot of when I was very stressed out, really uptight, just after a bunch of personal things that I went through, I found it very helpful. But people who have a lot of anxiety, such as myself, and a lot of stress, they say that those deep kind of fast breaths are actually not good because it heats you up, and I don't need more heat in my body. I need to cool down. And so actually I just do very small breathing. Now, right now we're advised to wear masks, so I have the scarf, which I could just put over at all times. And I'm going to first show, there we are. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you a few things that I brought that I can also put on the scarf that I made. And I made these things. So these are little, I call them my nature bottles, and I put in here crystals, so that sounds awesome. And depending on where I am, so for example, right now I'm more in a garden atmosphere, and so here I'm actually put in, where are they? Anyhow, I put in here fir balsam, pine needle, and all of these different scents. So it creates almost like a scent therapy. Scent therapy is wonderful for you as well, and so sometimes I'll bring nature indoors with just that. Oh, wow. That smells so good, like woodsy and fresh, and it's very purifying and aromatic. Or sometimes I'll want to just also lift your mood. And here I have with roses and crystals and just bergamot. Bergamot is very mood lifting, and that's also a beautiful way to bring nature indoors. Yum. Oh, that smells delicious, but probably not good for my sunglasses. But in general, you can put that actually on the scarf. So when you have to put the mask on, you can put it like literally on your mask. It's just to kind of refresh inside, and or the different masks. So that actually is just really fresh. Now, another thing that I made here before we start our walk, how do I turn this here? Okay, so I created some of these soothing and de-stress kind of products. So for example, this is something that I do for the bath, whether it's for the foot or for the body. There's salt and aromatic botanicals. You just drop that in, and this beautiful our messaging of believe, hope, and love, and that just kind of duplicates as a necklace or a bracelet. Also over here, which is another item for the bath, which is the flower baths, and here it's for the body scrub. You just pop oil in there, and everything comes with our charms. You see here all the different aromatic nature jars like I just have. So I just created that from even just bringing elements from the outdoors. You can just literally take some things from your garden. I have also crystal in here. Put any essential oil you may have and just hang that around. So that's another item. Now, what I also really like to relax with is a selenite stick. This is a selenite stick, and what I do with a selenite stick is... So I just kind of put it around here. Ooh, that's really, really soothing. I like to do that when I just do a quick breathing, closing the eyes. That I do before I start the wellness walk. Or I take that with me, and it is very, very soothing and relaxing, just around the head. It removes negative energies, it brings in positivity, and it just really refreshes and purifies both you and your space. You can buy one of these very large ones as well. Another thing I have, which is this, I created this Lavender Sachet, which I put on a necklace because I've been very stressed. So I put that, actually what I've been doing is I've been putting that right inside my shirt or right on my heart, just to relieve the anxiety, which I found that to be actually very helpful. And also over here, I have just a couple of lavenders that I was burning to refresh the space, which is also very soothing, similar to what sage does. And here, this is some beautiful little Mother's Day gifts that's coming soon. Just the little bottles, as I showed here with the khamsa, different types of aromatic botanicals, and these smell delicious, just like that. Lift your mood, de-stress, purify, chill out, makes a beautiful gift for you or yourself. And then what I have here as well, and these are just empty bottles that you can do some fun things with, for yourself or kids. So what I'll do is I'll collect different things from nature. Since I'm here in the garden, I can just grab some of these things. I can grab a couple of other trees, leaves, and I can grab all kinds of other kind of leaves, put that in the jar. And then if I want to, I can put some essential oils in there, close it up, and just smell it, and then it'll give me it feels good. It's like bringing nature indoors. Now over here, I just have soil. The purpose of the soil is really to work with it, but a lot of times just wet it, and it's great to hold soil, to work with soil, plant some things. Soil has chemicals in them that are mood lifting, immune building. Believe it or not, I don't care if my hands are dirty. I'd rather have immune boosting. All of this is also very immune boosting. Another fun thing is to just plant some herbs, and so you're constantly working with soil and you're lifting your mood. And then another fun thing that I found is this is self-drying clay, and it's super easy to work with. I just rolled that in my hands, and I created this little heart thing. I just made it a second ago. If you see, it's already almost drying. So I'm going to either put maybe this little thing in it, and I might cut some of this in there. So I might just cut a little piece of this, stick that inside, and then if I want to just put that, and then I can make a little hole in there, and also, it's a little hard to do that one hand, and also hang that or give that as a gift. And that's super fun and easy. So let us begin our walk. A second. Okay. Yes, I'm going to take some of my things with me. I have a bag, so I'm putting my things in my little bag. And we're going to start our wellness walk together. So 1 minute I'm taking my selenite. I have my little relaxation jar. Even though just being outdoor in nature, that's the whole purpose of being in nature. You'll see that actually it's a science-backed method, which is called nature therapy, ecotherapy. And the being outdoor, surrounding yourself in some form of nature for 2 hours a week is extremely, extremely healing. I don't know if you're going to find a difference, but I've been cooped up inside for the past 2 or 3 days, and although I have a beautiful view, oh, actually, I'll show you the awesome tree view that I have, and that alone's been really just lifting my mood. And you know, I love opening windows. It's all about also bringing fresh air from outdoors indoors, even by just opening the windows. Now, I love just walking around here. Oh, and yesterday when it was raining, perfect day to be outside, because actually all of the essential oils from the, I keep losing connection, I can't go too far from the house. All of the essential oils from the trees are really good to breathe in, especially when it's raining. Now I just want to show you this beautiful magnolia tree. Look at that. I have that view from my window up there. Amazing. Love it. And I'd love to take pictures of it. As I said, what's called fractal views, which is this, is extremely soothing, they're saying, research. So you could just kind of, can't do that. Man, I can't go that far. I wanted to show you something up front, but anyhow, that's also beautiful, just like that. I see I can't go that far. So I'll have to just stick around the backyard. But in any case, so what we'll do, and you actually, what's forest bathing, you don't even have to really walk, they say. My God, the connection, I can't move. Okay, we'll pretend I'm walking because I actually can't move that much. But I'll just stick under a tree. That actually works well. As long as you're even just putting your hands on trees, as I was mentioning, because there's not going to be diseases on the trees, even in public places, and that's what I was wondering about. But I was mentioning before that the research, because of the trees, they have a mechanism that fights diseases. So it's actually really good to do that. And it's very, very grounding and balancing. The whole thing about grounding and earthing is that it balances your system. It helps your immune system. Because when you de-stress and relieve anxiety, your whole system inside is becoming more balanced. Hence, your immune system is then relaxing. Oops. So I'm going to just chill out somehow on this tree, because it's the only place I have a connection. And ooh, I love this. This is pine. Now I'm going to take out my other little thing that I have here that I created, which reminds me of this smell. It is so good, and I'll tell you what's in there in a sec. But I love the magical sound of the crystals that I put in there. Just alone, if I just want to breathe in, first of all, I have the fresh air to breathe in, and I have the leaves and the trees. That's enough alone. But if you want to bring this indoors, which we want to do that right now, what I put in here was very simple. Just some aloe vera that you can buy anywhere. Aloe vera like a liquid form. I put in a little bit of hydrogen peroxide because I want to purify everything all the time. I put in some distilled water, and I put in here essential oils of fir balsam, pine, cedarwood, and I think that's it. And it smells phenomenal. And I put some crystals, but you can put anything you have, really, you know. But oh my God, there goes my cat. Okay, it doesn't matter. And so that's what I do when I'm indoors or in the car or wherever I might be if I don't have this awesome nature. But also, what I was showing earlier is, look how pretty, just to take pictures through the sunshine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start with my selenite stick. Wait, I'm falling here. Okay, so there we are. Okay, I have my selenite stick, and we'll begin. Let's do this together. Usually do that for about 5 minutes, but as I'm leaning on the tree, hopefully with one of my hands holding the tree, it's for grounding purposes. But right now I have to hold the phone. So imagine I have a hand on the tree for grounding purposes, or leaning on a tree, and I'm breathing. Wow, that's super relaxing, I have to say. I was very nervous. I had a lot of anxiety. I'm here at my parents' house in 3 weeks, and I'll be staying for another month. Okay. All right, so let's pretend we did that for about 5 minutes, and now let's pretend we're continuing walking. Unfortunately, I keep losing connection, so I can't really walk, but I'll try to walk a little bit. Now, during the walks, the whole idea of the wellness walks is to experience nature with your 5 senses. So it's a sensorial experience. Now, what does that mean? You tend to all of a sudden notice things that you've never noticed before that you just sort of took for granted. Maybe now during this time we are going to realize that even just being outside we can't take for granted anymore. But I'm all of a sudden, look at this, I'm just noticing this beautiful, how this is going to bloom soon. I'm listening to the quiet, I'm listening to the sounds, I'm listening to the birds. I'm creating music from nature just by listening to the natural sounds. I'm observing the different textures and the different elements around me. Whether it's the different trees that I want to just even touch while I'm grounding myself as I just touch the different trees, or whether I am just in peace and I'm just calming myself by just breathing. And as we know, walking is very healthy for you. You don't necessarily have to run. You don't have to do all of these extraneous exercises. In fact, I haven't done squat for like, I don't know, maybe 2 months. And I'm feeling perfect. And I'm feeling really great. In fact, I feel, I can't see me, but I think I'm looking pretty good. Better than when I'm working out. So, I don't know, we have this thing here from years ago, but this is better. And really, as soon as I feel a difference after, oh my God, the connection keeps dropping. I live just across of Central Park in the city, except for that I left the city right now, and I have a nice view of the park, so that's very relaxing, especially when I'm working right in front of I work from home, so for me it's actually easy. But in any case, my company, which is called greenhournyc, I just launched it 2 months ago, and it's connecting people to nature via various sensorial experiences. And one of them I was going to be doing was the wellness walks. Originally I was calling them mindful walks because you want to connect the mind and body and walk with nature. And as I was saying earlier, which is forest bathing, it is what's the Japanese term known to a walk in the woods, and it's really clearing your mind. Actually, a lot of people are now doing business meetings as they're walking in nature. So nature can be anything, can be a green space. As I said, it could be a blue space. As I said earlier, a blue space is any form of water. I created a whole bunch of paths in the city to do also all around the West Side Highway, the piers, the different parks, the different things. But now we're all of us are outside the city, and many of us live. So you can go on your terrace, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter. And you can create one of these for yourself as well. This I just made with salt and some essential oils and crystals, and I just pop that open if I just want to refresh and bring nature indoors. But during the walks, here, do you listen? Well, that's my parents talking. Oh, they're outside. But anyhow, if they weren't talking, I would be quiet. Ima, can you be quiet for a sec? Okay. Can you be quiet for a minute? Thanks. Okay. Well, what are you going to do? There we go. Like music. Come on, where are the birds? Where are the birds? Anyhow, I heard a lot of birds earlier and yesterday, and I was making music from that. And I also am going to start a nature library, by the way. Whoops. A virtual digital nature library, so everyone can enjoy the different sounds and visuals that I create all the time. You see, I love that. This is so really grounding. Just hug a tree. You can't hug anyone else right now, so if you're single like me, I may as well just hug a tree. And because God knows we'll be able to hug someone later, right? That's going to be kind of scary. Anyhow, so I go and I start my wellness walks like that. I start with the breathing, and in between, you see how hyper I am, how anxiety I am all the time. So I got to stop and just... But I do it slow. Sometimes people go the Wim Hof method. It's not good for me. It makes me even more hyper. So chill. I'm already feeling better. That's much better. I just calm myself down. I need to calm myself all the way down. So I do that. And then when I walk, which I can't right now because I keep losing connection, but when I walk, it also relaxes. My mind starts to clear, and I wonder, every time I take a walk in the park, after about 20 minutes, that's when the best thoughts come through, and I just figure everything out. And I'm like, whoa, that really works. And it really is science-backed. If you look at what's called ecotherapy, look that up, look at nature therapy. In fact, I was looking at a program last night that was talking about how we want to now collaborate with all the parks and then get the insurance companies on board so that they will be able to give that as a benefit and pay for some walks, pay for nature as medicine, because soon, now that we're all indoors, we may actually realize that that is really healing. Just allowing to be with nature, to enjoy and appreciate it. Now, I always wondered when I was on the beach, and I love the beach, I'm the total beach lover, why did I always fall asleep when I just, like, after 20 minutes, I would just totally fall asleep on the beach? And I never understood why until I realized when I looked into the ecotherapy and nature therapy and started working with it, it just completely relaxes and balances and grounds your system. And it is extremely good for your immune system. So anytime you're somewhere in nature where you're able to go barefoot, so whether you want to put your feet in salt at home, in Epsom salt, so create like one of those Epsom salt baths, that's pretty good too. Soil, grass, sand. Do that. You'll see after 20-30 minutes, you'll see a difference for sure. No matter where you are. If you're right now, you're inside a house, it's with a lot of, activity and a lot of commotion, which is what some of us might be having. Sit in the bathroom for all you care with like a little, soak your feet in the tub or whatever you might have with some salt. Maybe bring soil from somewhere, maybe bring sand from somewhere, or go hug a tree, go hang out on a tree. Hi, Ema. My mom just joined us, even though she's right here on the terrace. So now what you have to do, what I would suggest to do, is come next to the tree and join me for my next future virtual wellness walks. I also am going to be creating some virtual workshops showing how to bring nature indoors and de-stressing, relieving anxiety, lift your mood, and strengthen your immune system, while also creating higher productivity. So that now, while we have to actually be indoors, we also have to work indoors and work around people and work around all sorts of things that might create a lot of stress for us. So we have to learn how to just chill out. Now, you can also diffuse essential oils in diffusers. I find that extremely productive. What I do is I diffuse some oils in a diffuser. I'll sometimes have this little jar or my little sachet that I put on my heart, or I smell when I'm inside. I open a window. I hope to have some sort of a nature view, and if I don't, I look at the photographs that I've taken of nature. So right now I don't have that, but I wanted to show you the magnolia. I'm gonna go back there. Hopefully I will not get disconnected because it's so gorgeous. And let's see what we have here. Wait, Ema, I hear myself. Okay. That is so, well, get lost. Okay, I can only stand here then. Anyhow, that's such a beautiful view that I have from the window. And that alone, I wake up to that now that I'm at my parents' house. And I wake up to that and I just go to sleep to that. And okay, here we are. So that's me echoing. Okay, my parents are up there. This is just the last view of a couple of the things that some people may have missed that I'm creating, which is for the baths. Anyone can create this. It's just salt, aromatic botanicals. This is the lavender sachet that you can hang. And this is just the little aromatic floral that you could put for the baths. It's very, very soothing. And this can either be as a body scrub, or it can also go in the bath because it comes with sachets. And you just pop them in the sachets, as well as these little elements. And I think I showed the Selenite Stick. And then I showed these fun things that you can do with kids, which soil. A lot of times I just bring the soil inside in a cup, wet. Make sure if you don't want to do a whole new like plant design or whatnot, sometimes I'll just put my hands on the soil. It's really, really soothing, balancing. And I was showing this earlier, which is clay that hardens on its own. I just kind of created this little heart. I went from nature and I brought some nature elements. That's for kids or for whatever. I put that in just like that. I took one of my charms. I could put a little hole in there, and I can also just hang that, just a cute little nature element. Simple and easy. So what I wanted to show was with the spray for the masks, now that we all need to wear masks. So this spray that I created, I have just a standard mask. I have my any kinds of a scarf. I have a few different scarves. So I like to, first of all, purify them. but also to spray it so that when I put the scarf or the mask on me, it smells really good. Oh, that smells so good. And that's how I'll be going around soon. So I hope you recognize me like that. And I hope everybody enjoyed a few of the tips that will be joining, and I'll be doing these hopefully more than once a week, twice a week, and I'll be around just the gardens. Hopefully I'll be able to get connection next time, and I'll go to the park or I'll go to the terrace. So stay safe, everyone. Stay healthy, and I wish everybody only goodness.